I'm Prafnil from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Girdler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in Nasilai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News Tonight. Heavy rain alert issued as tropical disturbance bears down on Fiji. 10 months on, tropical cyclone Winston survivors greet new cyclone season in tents. And external exam pass rates under scrutiny. People living in flood-prone areas need to prepare. Tropical disturbance TD04F was located about 75 kilometers south-southwest of Rotuma, or about 520 kilometers north of Nadi at 1 p.m. today. A heavy rain alert remains in force for Fiji, and localized heavy rain may lead to flash flooding. The system is slowly deepening and is expected to become a tropical depression tomorrow and move southeast towards the Fiji group. Director Meteorology Ravin Kumar says some centres have recorded 80 millimetres of rain in the last 48 hours.
The ground is now saturated. Any rain that will come with the heavy rain alert will mostly go into the drains and rivers. The likelihood of flooding is possible, and we are reminding all communities to take early action. Prepare yourselves if you are living in the low-lying areas. What's the evacuation route?
Disaster response personnel are prepared and ready to respond in the event of severe flooding or other effects caused by the current tropical disturbance. In a statement released in the last hour, National Disaster Controller and Permanent Secretary for National Disaster Management, Meleti Bainimarama, says they're closely monitoring the situation. He has advised the public to take extreme caution and regularly check for updates on tropical disturbance 04F, which is expected to bring heavy rain and is likely to develop into a tropical depression over the next 48 hours. Parents have also been advised to closely monitor the whereabouts of children and keep them away from flooded drains or waterways. He also advised that nighttime movements be limited as much as possible. The National Emergency Operations Centre can be contacted on 3319250. 10 months after tropical cyclone Winston ravaged homes and villages, many in Fiji are still struggling, and with the next cyclone season now upon us, people are unsure of their future. As Ellen Stolz reports, some are still heavily reliant on tents, while others say they have no choice but to wait on the government.
30-year-old Rupa Naidu lives in this two-bedroom home in Tangitangi outside Tavua. Since tropical cyclone Winston, her family of 5 have resorted to planting their own food and vegetables to sell and eat.
Rain comes and we have to see my house nearly, it's up till water is from, it's like here to tent we are living in it. When some visitors comes and we have to sit there.
One of the many villages that were severely damaged by tropical cyclone Winston is this one, Vatutavui village outside Tavua. Close to 380 people live here, with about 29 homes that were completely damaged by the cyclone. This is how William Ravatu's family lives now, after losing everything to Cyclone Winston. Open-plan kitchens and living areas that exposes them to wind and rain.
We're still sleeping in these tents, but it's starting to get damaged now, from the top to the bottom. And now we're in the cyclone season.
The Turangani Koro, Josefa Sandulu, says while he is optimistic about government's assistance arriving soon, he cannot help but fear for the safety of his people, especially over the next few weeks, as Fiji is now in its cyclone season.
Most people are waiting a long time. We are now in hurricane weather again. We don't know what, otherwise hurricane come again, then
And to make matters worse, a heavy rain alert was issued today by the Nandi Weather Office, saying a tropical depression could form by tomorrow. Like these villagers, many others in cyclone-ravaged areas will keep their fingers crossed and hope that the depression doesn't develop further. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
A 30-year-old man is under investigation for allegedly assaulting and sexually abusing a student in Suva last month. The victim was allegedly dragged into a vacant property opposite the Ministry of Health headquarters in Turak, Suva, as she returned from buying lunch. She was allegedly choked from behind and forcefully taken to the scene. Police say the victim sustained serious injuries struggling with her attacker. She also put up a strong fight, resulting in the suspect fleeing the scene. The suspect has been questioned and released, with the investigation file to be sent to the DPP's office for sanctioning. The external exam pass rate for Year 10 recorded a 55% failure rate last week. Today, Year 13 exam results recorded a 37% failure rate. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy admits while he is concerned with the less than fantastic results, there have been improvements and ongoing reforms. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Children are our future. However, the recent external exam rates paint a rather bleak picture.
Basically, the reason is poor preparation of students from primary school. In the past, students were progressing upward without getting a true picture of the performance.
The Fiji Teachers Union is of the view there are multiple factors that have led to the results, not the least of which is the removal of scaling marks.
When you have a class of 45 or 50, the teacher is managing behavior half the time, and then teaching, and then the teacher has to teach one size fits all.
In a statement, Fijian Teachers Association President Ngauna Halafaki argues that the new changes in the exam system need refinement. Dr. Reddy says there is much work to do to get the pass rates up.
Basically, mathematics that we're very worried about. Mathematics pass rates have been very low, and we are now we're thinking of having a major strategy, a war on mathematics next year. Starting from primary school, all kinds of incentives to incentivize the students, looking at new teaching methodology.
External exams were reintroduced 2 years ago, and while the results have been abysmal, the 3% and 8% improvement over Year 10 and 13 respectively is the silver lining the Education Ministry is hoping to expand on in the coming years. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The Children's Heart Foundation wants to set up a referral centre to improve services for congenital heart defects. It's estimated at least 150 children are born each year with congenital heart defects, and many don't live past their second birthday. Pranita Prakash has more.
The referral centre will be able to identify children with congenital heart defects much earlier and provide necessary medical care.
We will be able to set up a database. We find out how many children there are in Fiji, start some research, try to help coordinate the teams coming in. We'd like to help the paediatric team at the hospitals to coordinate their services a little bit better, because the hospital is very busy, the paediatricians there have lots of other work to do besides congenital heart disease, and so we just like to help them plug some of the gaps.
This is a long-term plan for the foundation and needs more discussion, funding options and coordination with the Ministry of Health. Heart surgeries cost about $30,000 and foundation chief executive Farzana Magnus says there are other costs involved as well.
We have some children that comes in for medical checkups, and they come from as far as the Lautoka, namely. So sometimes they need us. We need to help them with their fares.
A 15-year-old girl of Lautoka leaves for India tonight, assisted by the foundation, while another child flies out later this month. The foundation has so far assisted 80 children with open heart surgeries. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The World Wildlife Fund wants the Ministry of Fisheries to reopen the investigation into the death of a Fiji national aboard a foreign fishing vessel. The incident happened in April and the WWF says there's been no clear report surrounding the cause of death. Ali Kimbia has the details.
The World Wildlife Fund is demanding a thorough investigation into the death of Fijian Usaya Masimbalavu, who was working as an observer on a foreign Poseidon fishing vessel.
I would suggest that there needs to be a full investigation of what happened to Usaya Masimbalavu, and I think that also the results of that investigation need to be publicly available.
According to a report received by WWF, Masimbalavu died of a heart attack and was found by crew members 3 days later.
Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get a full picture of what happened because of various requirements in the investigation and privacy requirements for the medical records.
Fisheries Minister Semi Kuruilavesau confirms they are looking into the incident.
We have difficulty in trying to grasp all the information and be able to look into it. Yes, it's something that we are looking into, and we're hoping that we will be able to both discuss the issue with the fishing company that our observer was on board.
WWF says there needs to be detailed report from the vessel and the Fijian government should continue to push for the investigation. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, motorists urged to help in ensuring safety this festive season, and consultations underway to improve services for the elderly. Stay with us.
May nakaulebu na kiala tilebu au saboro ko tunga en Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato
ebi nakabeyaw na Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan na evangolite era kirak
ke mami na marama ni Northland ke mami daw talenta ka na Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato
na Radio Fiji 1 nando may biti na po ang ganbiyan yato.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. We do apologize for the early interruption that was due to a technical error. However, moving on with our bulletin, it's not always easy to be patrolling the streets day and night, trying to ensure public safety, especially during the festive season. As police beef up operations, the public is being urged to be more understanding to make their jobs easier and our streets safer. Kelly Vavallo reports.
Recent trends have shown a spike in criminal activities during this time of the year. For police traffic officers, ensuring public safety is a priority, and it hasn't always been smooth sailing.
Every day on the road is to maintain the traffic on the road and the life of all the road users, especially the drivers.
Police officers, especially traffic officers, have also been the subject of criticism in the past.
Instead of enjoying ourselves like for Christmas, people are enjoying themselves. We are here on the road for the safety of the drivers. There's plenty criticism on the road and the attitude problem.
This year alone, police have recorded over 36,000 traffic infringements and 52 road fatalities so far.
We have beefed up our operations from last weekend to ensure that how best we can create a safe road environment. We still have recorded altogether 204 cases of speeding, 10 cases of drink and drive.
Following road rules is a small contribution that would go a long way. It would certainly be appreciated by those officers who sacrifice their time with their families and friends this festive season to ensure the safety of others. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The seventh draft of the National Fisheries Policy will be presented by the Fisheries Ministry in Parliament next month. Minister for Fisheries Semi Kuruilavesau has confirmed the document will provide directions and objectives for offshore fisheries, aquaculture and coastal fisheries for the next 20 years. Savara Tambua has the story.
The final copy of the draft will be ready soon and will be given to various actors and stakeholders of the fisheries industry.
To be reviewed in early January, so that by mid-January we should be in a position to say that we will have a launch for the policy. We will launch the policy.
Just the final draft.
That will be the final draft, yes.
The minister is adamant that if followed, the policy will help protect and replenish our sea and provide for the many years to come.
Life of species range from the young age to production in about 25 years. So we need to have this policy and ensure that the fisheries are sustainable and that we continue to enjoy the benefits of this in the short term and more so in the long term for our future generations.
Corella Basau says more awareness will be carried out to make everyone fully aware of the importance of the policy and how it can help the industry. Sawera Tambua, FBC News.
50 people have been charged for corruption-related offences by the Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption this year. FICAC spokesperson Nandini Vandana says this is an issue which they've been dealing with all year. The most common form of offences reported to FICAC is abuse of office and bribery. 20 cases are before the court.
Corruption affects economic development, economic growth and progress for any country. It affects sustainable livelihood for persons living in a country. So just like any other country in the world, it is definitely a concern here in Fiji as well. As long as we have corruption, there will always be unequal distribution of wealth, unequal distribution of government finances.
The Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation organised the first biennial General Assembly of Older Persons today. More than 50 people from different organisations and stakeholders attended the assembly. Anna Ravulo has the report.
The two-day assembly aims to provide the platform for policymakers, partners and older persons to have their voices heard. Contributions here will then be used by government in its development plans that will include the plight of the elderly.
Whilst there has been a progressive development in this area, it is consultations such as this that will provide an enabling environment to hear from both existing and potential stakeholders so that we can contextualize our development approaches to suit the resources and the clientele of older persons here in Fiji.
One issue that dominated discussions was the social pension.
The $50 social pension is very small, is insignificant when you compare that it takes $65 a day to look after a prisoner in the correction services. So why are we paying only $50 a month to the elderly who have done so much for the nation, and they have done it within the law and with dignity and with respect to everybody, and to give them only $50 a month, especially those who are not on the FNPF pension.
Boniwanga says the ultimate aim is to provide age-friendly services in Fiji that will allow the elderly to age with dignity. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
We turn to sports now.
I'm Dori from Nasinu Market. My choice is simple, Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Yvonne, I'm from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Sayandra, my name is Sunny. Only the Gold FM at Golden Point Resort, Raki Raki.
Hi, I'm Anna of Nasinu. When it comes to a radio, my choice is always Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Anna and I'm from Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Former Fiji Sevens coach Ben Ryan has hit back at the Fiji Rugby Union following its press statement yesterday that responded to comments made by Ryan on Twitter. Replying to questions sent to him by FBC Sports, Ryan says he is not trying to force himself into the Fiji Sevens team's affairs, but is merely concerned about the welfare of players who are close to him. Rohit Deo reports.
Ryan says not contracting players after winning world titles and gold at Rio is unacceptable on any level.
He adds he is 100% behind new coach Gareth Baber, but the FRU cannot use his move to Fiji in January as a reason for not contracting players. The Englishman adds that contracts can easily be set up with clauses that a new coach can evoke to release a player if his KPIs are not being met. In response, Ryan says he has very much moved on, but as everyone knows in Fiji, the team is in his heart now and he wants them to do well and for the players and management to be treated at the level they deserve. He adds that his comments about the contracts and losing of sponsors by FRU is true. Ryan tweeted last night that the statement released by FRU was childish and he has only said positive things about everyone.
The Telecom Fiji Under 15 side must win their match against Japan tonight to qualify for the 2017 Women's Rugby World Cup in Ireland. Qualification for the World Cup was made harder for them after losing 45-7 to host Hong Kong Friday night in their first qualifying match. Meli Tavanga reports.
I'm looking at it as a big challenge. So it's going to be a tough game ahead of us.
While overjoyed with its victory, the newly crowned NCC champions, Press Football Club, believes it should have sealed the victory early in the game. The Lautoka-based side had to go to penalty kicks to defeat Mbureta FC 4-2 after both teams remained locked 0-0 at the end of extra time. Press FC coach Lambert Sarju says his side missed a lot of opportunities, but he is pleased with the victory.
We had numerous chances. There could have been 10 goals, but still we couldn't get that ball to the back of the net. But the boys, the other thing is a lot of fatigue has come into the team, a lot of cramps and all those things. But yet the boys did their best.
Fijian swimmers taking part in the FINA World Championships failed to secure any medals during the week-long event in Canada. Cheyenne Rover finished first in the women's 50-meter freestyle heat, clocking a time of 25.82 seconds, but failed to qualify for the finals. Olympian Matilita Mbonromo also missed the qualifying time in her 50-meter butterfly heat, while Thierry Arcito finished 47th overall in the women's 100 meters butterfly event, clocking a time of 1 minute and 5 seconds, and in the 200-meter butterfly she stopped the clock at 2 minutes 24 seconds. The Fiji men's team finished 19th at the completion of the World Bowls Championship in Christchurch. Chelsea moved back to the top of the Premier League and made it 9 successive league wins as Diego Costa scored the winner against West Brom. In the other match played yesterday, Henrik Mkhitaryan's first Premier League goal gave Manchester United victory over top 4 rivals Tottenham. That's sports for this evening. Jack is up next with business.
With upcoming end-of-year festivities, it is advisable to not get carried away with the Christmas shopping hype. The Consumer Council of Fiji says the trend around this time of the year shows people easily fall for cheap deals without doing their research. Chief Executive Pramila Kumar says shoppers must remember to always check for quality and look at all options before making purchases.
This time of the year, when we go berserk with our shopping, you know, that festive mood that is created, and we also end up getting some back pay and two pays together, so there's a lot of money. And the only thing I would like to say to consumers, that be prudent, be smart when you're shopping out for this Christmas, and prepare for next year.
Conditions across the country were mostly cloudy with intervals of showers and strong winds due to a tropical disturbance. A heavy rain alert is now in force for the whole of Fiji. Localized heavy rain may lead to flash flooding. All the centers today recorded temperatures in the lower 30s. For tomorrow, scattered heavy showers are expected as the tropical disturbance continues, and again a chance of flash flooding in areas with heavy downpours. Our further outlook, looking further on to Thursday, the wet weather is expected to continue with the chance of thunderstorms across the nation. At sea, east to southeast winds 20 to 30 knots with momentary gusts up to 35 knots. Recapping the main stories for tonight, a heavy rain alert issued as tropical disturbance bears down on Fiji. 10 months on, tropical cyclone Winston survivors greet new cyclone season in tents and external exam pass rates under scrutiny. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question. This week we are asking, should drunk drivers' licenses be suspended on the spot? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply #FBC News. That was FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe and good night.
It's me Simsta here right from the Rakiliki town और सुबह ब्रेकफास्ट शो में मैं सुनता हूँ जब ब्रेकफास्ट शो में रहता है अश्नील और संगीता के साथ कैसे के साथ सुनते सुनते 11 से 2 भाभी जी का शो जितेन शामिल you know something Rakiliki मिर्ची FM is hot.
मैं हूँ श्वेता दुर्गुशा नर्सरी से लोग देखते हैं ईद का चांद लेकिन मेरा चांद तो मिर्ची FM है
हमारा नाम जाबिर है हम कोरनिविया नसोरी में रहता है मिर्ची FM हम सब टाइम सुनता है मिर्ची FM बहुत जुलूम है मिर्ची FM इज हॉट
मिर्ची FM it's hot